Alrighty. Incredible afternoon. Hello, everyone. All right, we got to turn this up because I need to bring it towards the heat press. Hopefully, you guys will be able to hear me once I get to the other side. Oh, chat, I didn't realize all this stuff was on my plate. So what we are going to make, I'm going to put this here so you guys can kind of see what we are about to do. And that is to make some rags for an event using sublimation. Ooh, I probably should. I'm not going to be able to see comments, am I? Man. All right, yeah, that looks so weird. The light on that looks so weird. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Share it out. I'm going to go and share it to my Facebook groups real quick here. Let's go share. Yeah, I don't know why the light looks so dark right now. I don't know why. Let's go. More options. Share to a group. Just bear with me while I share this out. All right. So let's get, it's not my design. This is their logo. So I did not design this. This is their logo. These are the easiest types of jobs to do where all you have to print it out and press it because they provided the image. Well, they already had theirs. I had to go in Silhouette Studio and use my edit points to remove the background around it, but it was already provided. So this was not designed by me, which makes this the easiest $100 in less than an hour that I can make and that you guys can as well because, like I said, it's just print it out and press it because it's already done for you. Now, I did add the playoffs to it. That's literally the only thing I added to it and curved it to the edge was playoffs because that's what this is for. Their playoff games are today. So that's what we're going to do. I am using microfiber towels, which are high polyester count towels. I got them from Amazon, but they have them at Walmart. There's so many different places that have them on Amazon. You can just kind of just do a search for microfiber towels. They come in all different sizes. I have one here that's a big, I think it looks like I forgot what this is. Something by 19. Was it 12 by 19? Hold on. This is a 16 by 19 towel. So it can go on this as well. But anything that is polyester because we are doing sublimation. So let me reintroduce myself. My name is Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365 LLC. We are the parent company of Silaholics Anonymous and Honestly SpINKing, which is our product line. I am using Honestly SpINKing sublimation paper and ink for this. That's what's going to make this so easy to do. And I'll be able to do it in no time flat because our paper doesn't bleed through. So I don't have to worry about putting anything on top. I don't have to tape anything down. And I'm going to be able to press each one of these in just 30 seconds. All right. So I can somewhat see through the paper as to where the image is going to go. So I'm just lining it up corner to corner. Going to push that bad boy in and press. All right, sneeze. 365 degrees, 30 seconds. All right. It's that way. Y'all see all of my shoes and stuff. So it's my camera right now is a little bit higher than what it normally is. So hello, welcome as you guys come in. Drop your city and state. Let me know where you are watching from. Double tap that screen. And also hit the share button if you're watching over on TikTok. If you just hit the share and hit copy link, that does help with the share, okay? And that does help with distributing the video out. Oh, crapola. I knew this was going to happen. This is too heavy. Hold on. Oh, this is so crazy. I don't know why. You're acting all... Oh, whoa. Okay, wait. It's not the top one. It's this one. Oh, Lord. All right, gotta tighten that a little bit. Let's see, where is it at? Okay, that works. Hopefully it doesn't move anymore. All right. So there's that. So we're just gonna keep an assembly line going. Let's see. Right now, I don't know how many more I have because I did some test ones already. So we're at about 6 minutes. Let's see how many we can get done or how fast it takes us to finish all of these. So I literally just have to, and because I have the butcher paper down there just in case any ink comes off, just in case there's any ink on the edges of our paper, on my paper from like the printer, but because it doesn't bleed through, it is literally just line it up, push it in, and press. These are going to get in the way. So let's, I don't know, maybe if I put them that way, it'll work better. Nope, not pre-pressed at all, just pressed. Ooh, child, I don't like the fact that y'all can see my feet. I don't like this angle at all. I just don't like this angle. This is a very off day for me. I normally don't work on Sundays, but a friend of mine asked for them. So I came through with the come through for her. So I'm still in my Sunday attire. So we're just going to see how fast we can get this done in 1 hour. I probably need to change this out. It's starting to get really wrinkly. So you will occasionally have to change out your bottom paper only because it gets very wrinkled and that's going to affect, the pressure. So every so often, I am going to have to switch out that butcher paper. I printed half of these, which the color will change a little bit. I ended up starting just printing them from my 7210. I was trying to print them both from the 7820 and the 7210 to make it go faster. But we are having some issues with our internet, and I guess because it's on the other side of the building, it is acting all slow with printing. So I'm just going to print all the rest of them from the 7210 that's right here in my workspace because it's printing faster. The 7820 was printing a lot slower. I am making towels for a playoff game today. Going to need your help with getting my colors corrected on my printer. They are way off. So I need you to give me some information like which printer you are using, what print settings you are using, what program you are printing from. So these types of jobs are the absolute easiest to make money off of. Like I said, I did not have to do anything as far as like designing. It was, hey, here is the logo. I sized it, print it, and we're going to press it. And because I don't have to pre-press, I don't have to lint brush. I don't have to put extra butcher paper on top. This is a really easy job, and we're just going to breeze through it. So I should be able to get through all of these in less than an hour. The towels are from Amazon. However, you can go if you want to just practice this. I've sold ones, maybe made ones for our family with the ones from the Dollar Tree. They're only a 1 inch smaller. The ones at the Dollar Tree are 11 inches. These are 12 by 12. There's a lot of different prices on Amazon. I think these were maybe like 20 bucks or something like that for 50 of them. But there's a lot of different price points on there. Probably can get some at a better price than this. The reason why I went with this one was because it was one that was available to be delivered overnight to me via Amazon. So I went with this one. I didn't care if it was the cheapest or not. It was just the convenience that it could be delivered to me overnight. So because I am making these for somebody else to basically resell, I don't, you can literally retail these for anywhere from $5. It's like, depending on how the design is, it's like a really custom design. I've sold them for 10 bucks for that size because of the design on it. So you can retail it anywhere from $5 to $10, depending on the design. Because I am making this for someone, it's just $2 is what I charged her for it, because she's going to resell them. I order from a lot of different places. Towels are one where it's easy to get them. Now, if you were going to do like this is going to be like a major part of your business, I wouldn't recommend Amazon. I definitely would. I mean, although I think these came out to only like 42 cents a piece. Technically, the ones from the Dollar Tree, where they were $1, you were able to get them for basically 25 cents. But what's the place called? Amazon is not always the greatest place to get things from. And if it's something that's like your top sellers and things like that, I wouldn't really recommend using Amazon for that, because you do want to be able to profit more. Although this isn't, I will say, this actually isn't a bad price. But if they can sell it to me for 42 cents, imagine if you're getting it right from the manufacturer, and you may be able to get them for a little bit less so that you can profit a little bit more. Although at 42 cents, and to be able to profit, well, you won't really profit $5, but you can sell them for $5. If you buy Honestly Speaking Sublimation paper, this that I'm using is 13 by 19, so that I don't have to worry about cutting anything down. I just put it in the middle, I press it and go. Our 13 by 19 is what, $33.65? So you're looking at, let's just round it up to about 34 cents per sheet. The ink is probably 10 cents, if that, for the print. So between 40 cents, 34, 10 cents. So that's what, 44. So like 80, you're in it for less than $1. Like less than $1, you're in it with this. So, and then you sell it for $5, you're making $4. And however you do your time, this is not so much about like business and pricing and understanding your numbers. This is just, what you would make on a sale of this would be. Basically, you'll material-wise, you're only spending less than $1, and then you'll make $4. I forgot to count how many we did. 6. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to say we did 7 because this was folded back. So 7. So yeah, I figured about a minute for each one, because I have to take it off, put the next one down, line it up. I press it for 30 seconds. With Honestly Speaking Sublimation paper, I'm able to press at 365 degrees in just 30 seconds. So that makes this job really fast. All I have to do is just take a little bit of time to line it up. and then price. If I had, although I probably could fit more on a page, if I would have done it that way to where I'm trying to put more on there, I'm trying to arrange them and cut them down, this would be a lot longer process to save what? The paper is, what I said, 34 cents. So if you divide that in half, like that's literally all you're saving is the paper, like half of it because you have 2 on it. Is it worth it to save a few pennies, as Eric and Dee would say, to have 2 on there? In this case, it's not. It's better to just print and get it going. $50. I'm making $50. Let's see. Hi, where do you get your heat press? What's the name in the brand? This is a Hotronix Fusion IQ. There are several places that you can get it from. Most of them are like distributors. So I believe I got mine from either Heat Press Nation or Heat Transfer Warehouse, but Pro World sells them. Johnson's Plastics Plus sells them. What's the one that's here? Florida Flex sells them. So all you're looking for is the brand. There are several companies that sell them. There is no like, oh, well, let me choose the best company, like the company with the best price. They literally hold their value. Every last company sells them for the exact same price, which is $2,250. So you won't be able to like shop around and like find it for cheaper unless someone is just simply reselling it. But their resale value is still high. Even when people resell used ones, they pretty much sell them really close to the retail cost. Like I've seen older Hotronix, and they're still sold for $1,000 or so, because like not the Hotronix, but like some of their older ones, because they are just great machines and like they stand the test of time. Now I have my pros and cons about this particular one. I was a little bit underwhelmed once I got it. I pined over it for so long, and I was a little underwhelmed with it. But all in all, it's cool. So it's not necessarily the heat press that melts the edges. It's the actual material and what the threads are. I wouldn't know on this one, they aren't melting. I can tell like they aren't hard and rough, but the whole thing is covered, so the heat is not touching it directly. Let's see. That's a good price. I made some and sold them for $1.50 each. I'm gonna do better next time. Oh yeah, that's way. Now see, for me, because I'm wholesaling these, I mean, I'll do it but if I'm actually doing like a full on, well, even if I was like, let's say if I had to actually design these, I would definitely have sold them for more if I had, because my design fee would come into play. But you definitely can retail these for $5. Will a towel or any substrate? Yes. That's what this is. This is not 100%. The ones at the Dollar Tree are 100% polyester. These are 87% polyester, and the rest is polyamide, which is still something that will sublimate because it is a synthetic fiber. So sublimation, contrary to what most people teach you, they'll teach you just polyester. This is something that I do teach in my Sublimation 101, like my Sublimation for Beginners and Beyond, that it's not just polyester that you're looking for. Sublimation works on many synthetic fibers. It doesn't work on any natural fibers. So when you see stuff that's technically satin, that's a high polyester count. When you see things like, like your Gross Grain Ribbon or polyester, I showed a bathing suit that I did that had nylon in it, spandex, things like that. You can sublimate. So most people will just say polyester, 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 but any synthetic, well, not say any, because some of them will melt, but most synthetic fibers, if you have just felt that is recycled polyester, you can press to that as well. Does My Heat Tape come with the stand? No, ma'am. You have to buy it from Amazon. Yes, the Dollar Tree ones will melt, which is why when I teach people, I always say to make sure that you cover it. Like you have to cover it up with butcher paper if you're just putting your print in the middle. But my entire paper covers this. Even if I'm doing the one from the Dollar Tree, I make sure that my paper covers the entire thing so that I don't have to worry about it melting onto my heat press. Even if the design is small, because I did some that were smaller. Where is it? Nope, not that one. There's some in here that's a little bit smaller. And even when I did this, it was for the whole page. If I do something that's right here, it may seem like a waste to some people, but even if this design was right here, it's going to be right there. Like the whole page will still cover it, and that's going to be right there. I don't press these. I try not to press them where any of the edges are ever exposed. Let's see. These towels are 12 by 12 from Amazon. And the Dollar Tree ones are 11 by 11. And I'm printing to 13 by 19 paper so that it covers the entire thing. And I don't have to worry about adding and cutting down any additional paper to put on top. I wouldn't be putting the paper on top for my sublimation paper. I would be putting the paper on top because on some of these, the threads do melt. Do you print your layout first? And what type of printer do you use in paper also? So I'm not sure what you mean by do I print my layout first? Not sure what you mean by that one, but I print from Silhouette Studio. That's the program that I teach, the program that I love to print from. So I print from Silhouette Studio. I have a couple different printers. So these are all, most of these are printed on my Epson Workforce 7210 because that's the one that's printing faster right now. Some of them, by the time I get to the bottom of this, they will come from my 7820, which the colors are a little bit different, which I don't understand why, because it's the same ink. But I think it's just the way that the newer printers print in their resolution, so it comes out just a little bit different. And I print plain paper, bright white. I don't use premium matte. I am using, of course, honestly speaking, sublimation paper. This is our product line. We have sublimation paper and sublimation ink. Our paper, no butcher paper required. There's no bleed out. You can sublimate as low as 365 degrees and as fast as 30 seconds, depending on your heat press. You can use a Cricut Easy Press, the original. You can actually press at 350 degrees, but if you do 350 degrees, you have to press it for about 55 to 60 seconds. Oh, does my heat press come with the stand? No, it does not. You have to build it or create one. The way that this is, no stand fixes. They don't sell a stand for this one. I think I read that wrong the first time. Let's see. I have I'll work my way up to that. I'm just a beginner. I'll have to work my way up to that. Can you talk about the paper you are using? I definitely can. Yes, this is all sublimation. So Epson Workforce printers are not designed to use sublimation ink. What comes in the box or the cartridges use pigment ink. But because they are a piezoelectric print head, meaning there's no heat, so it's not going to start the sublimation process in the print head. Epson printers are kind of like your go-to printers for this because of that reason. You can just put your sublimation ink in there and be able to print from it, and you're making it a sublimation print. Like it can print out the ink. Once it prints it out, you're able to print it on paper and then press it. The paper that I'm using, again, is honestly speaking sublimation paper. It's our brand. I'm going to have tons and tons of videos on it. And I mean, you print to it. There's a smooth side. There is a slightly rough side. you print to the rough side. So rough side is the print side. If you're going in the tray, you put rough side down. If you're going from the rear feed, rough side goes forward. I use plain paper, bright white. It's set to quiet mode so that it slows down the printing so that the ink can dry. Because this is a high release paper, it takes a little bit longer for the ink to dry. So if you put down a lot of ink, you're going to end up with pinwheels all over your prints. Because this is a high release paper. It is coated in a way to where the ink kind of floats on top and it's just going to release it. So no cover paper is required. It's 100 sheets per pack, 120 GSM. Our 13 by 19 is $33.65. Our 11 by 17 is $30.65. Our 8.5 by 14, I want to say is $21.30. I think. Don't have me telling a big fat fib. Let me go check it real quick. But I want to say that it is. Hold on. That paper is $23.65. 8.5 by 11 is $20.30. There we go. And we do sell it in single packs, 3 packs, and by the case. So you can buy our paper by the case. That is what we consider to be wholesale. So if you're doing a lot of print and you want the best paper, we do sell it wholesale where you can buy it by the case. Buying it in single sheets, you're not going to get wholesale prices. But if you buy it by the case, you're getting a wholesale price. So if you are just joining, I am Shakia the Professor. I am the co-owner along with my husband and the rest of my family of HS Ink 365 LLC. We have a couple companies. We have Silaholics Anonymous. So I teach you how to design in Silhouette Studio. So I showed earlier how to, this had a different background on it, how to take your edit points and remove the background. I didn't show it on live, but I added the playoffs on it. And I did all of that in Silhouette Studio. So that's our first company. I've been teaching Silhouette Studio for 7 years. So I'm pretty knowledgeable in Silhouette Studio and know how to really, really work it. I can make Silhouette do things that most people think that it cannot because they just see it as a program for the cutting machine. I work that thing like it's Photoshop. And I know Photoshop. I use Photoshop as well. And then, of course, we have our product line. Honestly speaking, we've been selling ink and paper for the past 2 years. It's absolutely amazing. We call it the game changer because before me, everyone would tell you 400 degrees, 60 seconds. I challenged that. And when I got it, and I actually found out on accident that it can actually go that low because this thing right here will pop the heck out of you. And it fell down and fell on the print. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. I'll just let it go. And then when I lifted it up, it pressed. I was like, wait a minute now. Hold on. Let's try this again. Did it again. And I was like, oh, wow. So that's when I knew I was in love. And this was the right choice to represent our brand, just to represent who I am as far as like the quality that I like. So honestly speaking, was born. So this is one, and then we have HS Ink Digital, HS Ink Designs, HS Ink Prints, to where we do print jobs for people as well, to where you can send us your files and have us print it out. We are adding some other printers to it right now with Sublimation and Eco-Solvent prints because I have a Roland BN20. And we will be able to do like your chip bags and stuff like that. And you don't have to worry about licensing and stuff because we'll have our digital press pretty soon here. I want your heat press. And I have a love-hate relationship with it. I really have a love-hate relationship with my heat press. This is the only paper I use. Let's see. I have the Epson, but regular ink. So your regular ink is what you'll use for things like Jet Pro 3G. You'll use it for chip bags, stickers. So it is a good thing to have it. Like I have 2 Epsons that I use the regular ink. I have a 7840 and a 7720 that I use regular ink in. So they are pretty decent printers, but you can use them for sublimation as well. It doesn't matter if it's a workforce or an Eco Tank printer. I am partial to workforce printers because sublimation ink is made to match the color profile of pigment ink. Therefore, you'll get closer to accurate colors. Okay, it must have been something wrong when it first printed out because now all of these match the other one. So I don't know what was going on before. It was giving me a different color. Now it's printing out correctly. The wholesale price, does it come in the variety? No. The reason why it's wholesale is because it's in the case. We don't have to do anything to it. We slap a label on it and we ship it to you. It cannot be purchased with anything else, or it can, but you're going to see the shipping for each one of them. They're not put into a big box. They are shipped by themselves. So no, you cannot mix and match them for different sizes because then that makes more work for us. The wholesale price is we slap a label and we ship it to you. There's no work to it. Now, if you end up purchasing like a 3-pack and a 4-pack, like that, we do ship it in one big box. You're still saving by getting a 3-pack of any size or a 4-pack, but you cannot mix and match sizes. That's a pretty good question, though. I don't think I've ever been asked that question. As soon as I run out of paper, I'm using now. I'm telling you, don't wait till you run out of paper. Order it now. We have a sample pack. Even just to make sure that you know, order a sample pack. I'm telling you, there are people who have paper, and the paper that they have, they say that's for emergency situations only, or they have it for cheap people, last minute stuff, like for their family. But I have someone locally, he literally changed his price of his items because using our paper, the quality of it. When he was pressing it, his mom looked at it. She was like, well, dang, did you change something? And he was like, I ended up getting this paper. My friend hit me to her. Maria referred him to me. And from that, when he tried it and it changed the color from the paper he was using before, he literally increased his prices by $1 at first. And now he's increased his prices up by $1.50 because he's like, the quality of it is unmatched to what he used before. What HTV do I use? I am partial to I am partial to Caesar. I liked it. Someone gave me a shirt, or their brand used the Thermoflex, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this, but I don't like their glitter, but I might give their smooth vinyl a try because it's more matte than it is shiny. Caesar is shiny. I use Caesar Color Print Easy for my rolling, and I use Caesar's glitter, their smooth, their flock, their brick, all of that stuff. So I am partial to Caesar. Can I use your paper with Sawgrass printer? Yes, you can. We have several people. We actually have a company that's out in California that makes dog leashes and things like that. They buy our rolls of Sublimation paper, and they have like 8 to 10 Sawgrass printers, and they use our paper to print onto our roll paper. So it definitely works with Sawgrass. One of these days, I'm going to show y'all it with the Sawgrass. I do have a Sawgrass 500. I just have never set it up yet. One of these days, I'm going to set it up. Just don't know when. Let's see. 7720 cassette to not all options is cassette one. No. So, yes, that's normal. You cannot use premium presentation paper matte on the second tray. You can only use plain paper, envelope, and things like that. Premium presentation paper matte, photo glossy, semi-gloss, those can only use in tray 1 and the rear feed. Which wide format printer do I recommend? I am partial to workforce printers. So I'm always going to recommend that. With the newer workforce printers, you have to buy replacement chips. I actually did a video on that live here this morning. But I have an old playback where you can watch as it relates to the chips. Ooh, now this one I might have to pre-press. Ooh, because it looked a little crazy. It was like in the bottom of it. So this one we're gonna pre-press. Let's see, did it leave white? Nope, it did not. But yeah, I prefer workforces. So if you want the current workforce, it is the 7820, the 7840, and the 7310. When I get to the bottom of these prints, most of them are, hold on, let me see. How many do I have? Because I think I'm printing out way too many prints. But it doesn't matter because I have some more. This is actually a running order. She's going to get some more printed next week. So I'm not even worried about having extra print. Yes, I am in Florida. I am in Miami Gardens, Florida, so South Florida. Can you use the regular ink? No, you cannot use regular ink. Sublimation is a special process. So you have to have sublimation ink in order to do sublimation. If you use regular ink, it's not going to gas off. So with this ink, you're not transferring ink. This is why you print to the paper and then you press it. It's heat activated. So what you actually see here is not ink. This is not a transfer of ink. This is actually gas. So you cannot use regular, in case anybody wanted to see that. I'm not sure if I was taking it away too fast. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it is. With regular ones, if you were to press it with regular ink, if you use dye ink, nothing will transfer whatsoever. If it was pigment ink, which is what workforces come with, you'll just see one big yellow blob. So sublimation ink is made in a certain way. It kind of starts off like pigment ink. It is definitely pigmented, but there's a certain way that it is spun and certain particles that basically makes it to where once you heat it up, it gases off. And what you see on your tumblers, your shirts, your towels, your rags, your keychains, whatever it is, you are actually looking at the gas, not the transfer of ink. I have almost a whole pack of sublimation paper that I bought from my local craft store that I can't even use anymore. I have an Ecotech 2720 and their paper is too thick. It's probably not too thick. What's the weight of it? If it's 125, it's probably not too thick. You just have to adjust your settings. Things like turn your thick paper envelope on, put it on quiet mode so that it pulls in a different way. But it's probably, and yes, I'm going to help you use somebody else's paper. We don't want you to buy ours, but it's not, most times it's not too thick. I mean, with those printers, you have to remember, they'll tell you with an Epson printer, you can do cardstock. You can print out, especially with the Eco Tanks, because it's rear fed. You can print onto heavy cardstock, 80 pound, 110 cardstock. So if you can print on that, this sublimation paper is absolutely nothing. Like it can definitely handle sublimation paper if you can print on 80 pound and 110 cardstock. It's just what you're just because of your settings. Click the link in my bio or click the link tree that's in the description. Go over to my link tree and you'll find the link to my print settings. They work. Doesn't matter which paper you're using. They're going to change your life on those print settings. Okay, so I have a Workforce 7310 and I went to set up my printer to my new laptop and updated my printer. Now it no longer works. It's dead. What do you mean that it no longer works? Is it giving you an error on the screen? Is it just the cartridges that you're using? And it's showing you cartridge not recognized? What do you mean by it's dead now? I have a set. I'm going to make sure that says nothing about new ones. I was saying, okay, I have a 7720 using your sub ink. I would like to convert it to your pigment ink. Do I have to remove all the sub? Yes, you do. So I have a video where I show that you have to purchase a empty set of cartridges. You're going to have to create a cleaning solution to put in those cartridges. And then you're going to flush it out via push air, like the same push air method, print a purge file. I actually did that with one of my printers, where I took it from a sublimation back to a pigment ink printer because I wanted the 7210. Well, because that was already here with, once we came over here, it already had sublimation ink in it. I did a whole live video showing that entire process. So you're going to just need to get a set of empty cartridges. I show you in that video about creating the cleaning solution. You'll create that cleaning solution and flush it out. But yes, you have to, and you can't go back and forth. It's easy to go from pigment ink to sublimation ink, but it's harder to go from sublimation back to pigment. All of that ink definitely needs to be flushed out of the line because sublimation ink is aggressive. as far as like color. My 7820 keeps giving me a paper jam error. I love my 7720. Where are you printing from? From the rear feed, from tray one, from tray one or the rear feed? Oh, let's see. Oh, your 7720 keeps giving you a paper jam, or your 7820? I just remember to ask this. Is it true that when you update the software on the EcoTank, you won't print more? That is completely false. That is completely false. Yes, for the 7820, 7840, 7310, yes, there is a chip that you have to. All Epson Workforce printers have a chip on the cartridge. Every single last one of them. But the older Workforce printers allow you to use a chip resetter to reset this chip. On the newer models, you cannot reset the chip. You have to replace it. We do sell the replacement chips though. They are $60 a set for all 4 colors, $17 if you need individual colors. How often do you have to buy replacement chips for the Workforce? It really depends. So I intentionally did a test, which is why I have to, we have to order another 7820 for the person that want it, because I mean, I've been using it for so long, I'd rather just give them a new one. But I put a set of chips in there and I looked at how many prints and I monitored. So the black one stopped. I had 155 prints, but let me put that into perspective for you. Some of those prints, I used sublimation paper rolls. So I printed 13 by 26, 13 by 36, 13 by 42, I think one of them. I did quite a few of those. I had over like at least 13 by 26. I had maybe 20, 25 prints of just that size, that long. And then the other ones, I mainly print to like 13 by 19, 11 by 17, because you can always put more on there. Even if I'm doing tumblers, if I'm doing a lot of tumblers, I'll use the 11 by 17, so I can do 2 prints on it. Still do some 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, but a lot of my prints were the larger size prints. And my black went out at 155. My colors technically were still working. I did change them out this morning only because I did not want it to stop in the middle of this print job. But I was on print 195 with cyan, magenta, and yellow. And I don't remember when I put them in there. You'll have to go to my YouTube channel and see what day I set up that 7820. So from that day, it was 155 prints for black. I was 195 and counting. So I probably got around like 200 prints from that set of colored chips. If you're having issues with the rear feed, make sure that you take the back off. Take that inner piece out. Shake it off. Make sure that there's no debris or anything in there. Sometimes you'll be amazed at like the little things that may fall in there and kind of get stuck. Can you do roll? Yes, you can do. I do the same settings. I do not change my settings. The only thing that changes between the rolls and this, because my rolls are tacky. So if I'm using the tacky sheets, or if I'm using the rolls, the only thing that changes is my density. I take my density up to like negative, well down, should I say, to like negative 21, negative 20, because it's coated with that adhesive on it. It doesn't dry as fast. So since it's going in a printer where it's going to go past pinwheels, I'm using the 7820 print right now. Because it's going through there, you can get, it's more prone to pinwheels or pizza wheels, like you guys like to call them. So that one I take my density down on. But other than that, everything is the same. Plain paper, bright white, set to the highest quality that you can go to. If you're using a Mac, don't use the one that's up like quality, just use high quality. And everything else is just like my video. Everything else is just like the video. So same thing. I love one of the printer labels on your trays, my goals. So that's just adhesive vinyl. So if you have a cutter like a Cricut or a Cameo, it's just adhesive vinyl. It's Oracle 651. And I just cut it to like for the sizes. I don't even really use them now because I, just like, well, with the 7820, you can only print 13-inch wide paper from the rear feed. So the only one I really changed is the top tray. But I can only do that on my old printers because I had so many printers. And as I turned them in, I just kept the trays. So I have extra trays for those printers where I can store the paper, leave it on the shelf, and then when I need to change it, I just pull that one down. Because like I said, I had a bunch of 7720s and 7620s, and every time I had to trade one in, I kept the trays because they don't really want the trays. That's why I'm buying paper tray printers now, multiple sizes, without switching paper. Exactly. Okay, it doesn't recognize the cartridges. So all you have to do is not the cartridge not recognizing, it's the chips. You're going to have to just go and buy new chips because if you end up sometimes doing the update, I'm not sure which update you did because really, there really isn't a firmware update. A lot of people think when they hit OK, they're doing the firmware update and you're really not. But if you had your chips in there and you did any type of adjustment to it, it may have killed that particular set of chips, but it doesn't mean that you can't use chips at all. All you have to do is just go order a new set of chips and they should work. If they don't, get you a set of Epson cartridges, put them in there, kind of let them go for a little bit. Use that one, just kind of do some flushes, do a couple of test prints, and then put them in there. And sometimes they will read. But that is a common issue with the new printers. It's not that you did anything. It's not the update. I've not done an update on mine, and there has been chips that just don't read. That is a common issue. I have several videos breaking that down. Even on our website, when you go to get it, there is a disclaimer that states you are taking the risk of using the third-party chips. They are not guaranteed to work in every printer. We had a customer that had two 7820s. A set of chips did not work in one printer. She put it in the other one. It worked in that one. It's just the way it is. We don't know why it happens, why it works in some printers. Whoa. And not others. I have no idea what's wrong with this stupid camera. Why it works in some printers and not others. So that's just a risk you take, and you just have to buy chips. Some companies won't let you return them at all. We do not do exchanges. We do not refund shipping, but we will let you return it for a refund because most times we test every last one of our chips. So we know that they work in our printer. So if they don't work in yours, we'll let you return them because, hey, we can use them in our printer. But we don't refund shipping, and you do have to, if you want to, we refund it. If you want to place another order, you can place it, but we do not send replacements. All right, now I'm having to like pre-press these because they got like little lines in them. It's gonna be time to change my butcher paper in a minute here too. Thank you for that because I was about to go and buy a new printer. Nope, just head over to shop.hsink365.com and order yourself a set of chips. They are XL rated. So like I said, you can get almost 200 prints out of a set of chips. You may have to refill the ink, but a set of chips will get you close to 200 prints if you're using plain paper. If you're using our settings, if you're using premium matte, because your paper requires premium matte, you're going to get significantly less. Premium matte is the equivalent of about 4 prints. So take that 200 divided by 4, that's all the prints you're going to get, if that. Can you tell me about your business a little? What all do I do? Oh, I have no problem. Thank you for asking that, November Bunny. So I'll do a quick little reset of the live video, or as they used to say on Clubhouse, a quick little reset of the room. I am Shakia the Professor. That is what I go by. That is a God-given name. Trust me, I have a video where I talked about that, and then some things happened. I'm a person that lives by confirmation, and I said something about my glasses, and I walked out and I got off the live. My husband says, oh, your glasses are there. so I just knew that's what it was. I am one of the leading experts in this industry for sublimation, just business in general, creative business. I had a business with event planning and things like that. Event planning, I don't do as much because it's always so many events, and I pretty much make a lot of stuff. And I like my marriage more than I like event planning. So I didn't want to, run away my husband with all of the stuff that I had to do for event planning. So I end up not doing it so much, but I still kind of stay connected to it. I still have a garage full of stuff that my family keeps trying to get me to get rid of. I'm like, no, I still have personal events. So I won't get rid of all of my linen and my glassware and all that kind of stuff, balloon blowers. We have humongous helium tanks. I still have it all. Balloon pole, like column poles and arches and stuff. So I still have it all. So I still do events for my family and my kids and stuff like that. I still make items for other event planners. So things like cutouts and banners and all that. So I'm still connected to the event world. I use a Cameo. So when I was doing mine and creating big, large cutouts and decals and stuff, I have 6 Cameos that I use. Back then it was more so like 3. I just recently got the 4 and another and the 2. So I was pretty much using 3 because I can't stand my Cameo 3. But I did that, and so I still do stuff for events. I still do a lot of custom. So we have HSing prints. I make custom shirts for all types of events, cups, mugs, you name it. I've done it. I've done school accounts and contracts for the Spirit Wear for their shirts. Working on another one now. I've worked with businesses. I've done basically like a sign shot where I've done the big glass, and I've done vehicle. I did a bike wrap. For vehicles and for work vehicles, I put their logos and information on there. So I've done quite a bit under our customs and our prints business. Over the past couple of years, I have focused more on teaching others how to make money in this business. All right, you're getting a wealth of knowledge, not kind of a one-trick pony with me. I can pretty much help in a lot of areas. Being the fact that I worked at a radio station or interned at a radio station when I was younger, I understand like marketing and all that kind of good jazz as well. So now I teach people how to, 1, design in Silhouette Studio, 2, how to build a successful business. I'm not just successful in selling classes or ink and paper. I actually made money doing t-shirts and on the custom side. Will I say it was 6 figures? Not like in one single year, because it's hard when it's by yourself and depending on how many jobs you can take. But I made a lot of money. My purpose when I was doing that wasn't to necessarily sustain our family and for it to be our bread and butter, but it serviced our lifestyle as far as vacations. I wanted everything that I did custom-wise to be what we build our children's college. Well, I call it after high school fund, not necessarily college fund. Like that's what I wanted it to be, to fund that for them. And starting that, it was for vacation and things like that. So for me, I never focused on like trying to hit 6 figures, 7 figures, because it was just something that I enjoyed doing. My husband had a wonderful job, but we did make great money off of it. That allowed us to be able to travel and have a pretty decent savings and be able to pay, and for us to buy a house. So did all those things. And now I teach, like I said, Silhouette. I teach sublimation. I teach party decors, from chip bags, water bottle labels, cake toppers, banners, gable boxes, cutouts, balloon decor, you name it, I teach it. Okay, that's awesome. I've been looking merchandise for my business, but haven't found anyone yet. So yeah, that's one of the things that we're getting into. Like we do, I just put it on my thing. So like we have an eco-solvent printer. So we do, I've done decals for people for their businesses, for schools and stuff, for fundraisers. So if you're looking for like stickers for your business, we definitely can take care of you on that one. That website for HSing Prints will be up soon, but you can always email me. The email is under our Linktree, and we can get meet up. And I like to do not say face to face, but actual calls to find out. And of course, we confirm via like email and things like that. But we definitely can take care of you if you need things for your business, such as shirts, stickers, labels, if it's just designing. Designing is one where my schedule is very, very tight and my availability is very tight when it comes to designing for like logos and things like that, because I put a lot of thought and work into logos. I don't do cartoon logos. I do real logos. I don't do graphics for businesses. I do logos for businesses. All right. We have 2 more, but I have to wait on the print because it ran out of paper. So let's see. We started at, it was 6 minutes in. We are at about 56 minutes, and I walked away and talked. So we did about, I already had some there. These are still, oh, it's one here. Actually, I can do my last 2. So I'm not sure how many we did. But for the most part, the ones I did before, I probably only had like maybe like 10 of them. So the fact that I got through, so we probably went through like 40 of these in less than an hour. So I just made $100 in less than an hour. And when I did the design, it was what, like 5 minutes to set this up. So in, let's just say, an hour, $100. Who would not want? Yes, this is why I'm not answering you. But I'm on the last one if you want to come down. Yes, so I can't create a logo. You just have to send me an email. I will tell you, I don't do quick logos. I like to find out about your brand. I sit down, I find out what's the vision of your brand. My goal is to make it to where you don't have this logo that just has like strawberries or shirts or whole heat presses, like not like a vector of a heat press. Some people have like a whole image of a heat press, like a picture of it. That's not a logo, that's graphics. So I like to sit with you, figure out what's the direction you want your brand to go in. What's the aesthetics? What do you want your brand to represent? And I create branding, not just a logo. I help you create your brand, something that you can actually trademark so that you are protecting yourself and your brand. I mean, it's okay if you have to change your logo. Several major companies have rebranded, changed their logos out, made little tweaks here and there. But you want to try and, get something that you can actually trademark to protect yourself, and you have to make any changes, you can go from there. So I like to kind of sit down. We have a full-on consultation. How I design, once we kind of come up with a design, I find out, okay, if you want thick font, if you want thin fonts, if you want script, you want whimsical, you want fun, you want bold. I don't discuss colors. I do not discuss colors in our first initial one. I mean, it's on your questionnaire, but we don't discuss colors. When I go and I design, I'm going to give you a couple different options. They're going to be all in black and white. If you don't love your logo in black and white, you don't love your logo. You love all of the glitz and glams of it. You love the glitter. You love the background. You love the flair. I need you to love your logo, because if you ever have to use your logo in a situation where you cannot use all the glitz and glam, are you still going to like looking at it? That's what you have to ask yourself when it comes to your logo. So when I send to you, I send it to you that way. You kind of say, I like this, I like that. Can we tweak this? You get one free edit, because I never send you just one. I send you a couple of them. What you like, you may like a little bit from this one, that one. We can try it out. You get one edit for free. After that, the edits become, because some people will go crazy and say, can you change this? Can you change that? Can you change this? Can you change that? I can change it, but it's going to cost you. So once we go and we settle on your logo, then we start to add colors. So once we do colors, you get on that, once we design the design, you get color edits. I'll fill it in with your color combination. If you want it to be switched around, you get one edit. However, I normally do provide your logo in a couple different colors, which is why my logos are not $25, because one, you're going to get it in every file format. Although I make shirts, I'm not going to hold your logo hostage. You don't ever have to come back to me for your business cards, your shirts, your cups, your mugs, your car decals, whatever. It is yours. You are commissioning me to do it. It's not my project. Although I love every single logo that I do, I relinquish them to you. You signed a release clause to where it is yours. I provide it in JPEG, PNG, Illustrator, EPS, PDF, and because most people I work with are crafters, I do provide it in the SVG format. And then I give it to you in a couple different layouts where it's either long, it's stacked, and you have the option to get like an actual icon for your business. I also provide it for you in black and white, so that makes it easy for you to do your watermarks. So with all that and all those file formats, my logos are not cheap. Most people will give you a logo and all you're going to get is a JPEG or a PNG, not with I. Hans. How do you price the ink that you use in your projects? I struggle with that. Do you charge per size design? No, I do not. So what, I'm going to give you a little free gem here. This is what I kind of teach in my creative business. Wait, is that all of them? Is that the last one? Ooh, this one got messed up. So guess, oh no, there's one more, but I was not expecting these to come in. They are like long towels. So because one got messed up, I am going to give her one of these as well. But there is another one here, and I got to go through it, and I got to count them. But when it comes to ink, ink is what's called, how I kind of see it and how I price things out. Ink is, how can I say it? Like, I know I did the math on it, right? So if you want to really figure it out, you're not going to be able to figure it out just by seeing the amount of ink. You really have to know about, on average, how many prints you're going to get. So I kind of did that. I monitored it. So if I really wanted to do it right now, I can do it again based off of how much the chips cost, because I know I got, even though the color was $195, we'll say $200 because it still has it has prints on it. My black ink went out at 155 prints. Yeah, 155 prints. So I would take that based off of how much I, buy my ink for, if I had to buy, with shipping and all that, and I would do the math. And for the milliliters, you kind of figure out the math. But that's a lot to kind of do for each one if you're not going to have like a pricing calculator that breaks that down based off of the size paper that you are using. And then it's really hard to tell because so with those print counts, was it a full page print? Was it a print like this that only has something in the middle? Oh, wait, let me take this off the screen. Was it something that has something in the middle? So this technically uses less ink, but how I price it, I just do it off the prints. It doesn't matter if it's a 13 by inch print, if it's a 8.5 by 11 inch print. So, because that's really how you're going to figure it out. You're printing to different size papers. So that becomes complicated. I look at how much ink do I have to use, on average, how much ink. If you want to do it to where, okay, you have to buy a new set of ink every 2 months. So that is a cost of business. That is a business expense. That's a part of your overhead for that month or for those 2 months. So you build that in. And when you're doing your profit by the numbers, I teach my students how to calculate what their overhead is, whether it is like just like their machine maintenance and kind of having a price for that. If, your utilities, your machines, your paper, your packing material, if you have subscriptions to websites, your class, like whatever it is, those are overheads for your business. And each order should pay a little bit towards that overhead. Now that's going to make you hustle because if, let's say, you work it out to where from every order, it's supposed to cover 3% of your overhead. If your overhead for the month is $2,000, that helps you know how many orders you have to make, like on your average order amount, how many do you have to make to cover that 3% to eventually get to that 2,000? That is how I do that. Because I worked in an industry like sports entertainment, I worked at the American Airlines Arena where the Heat play. It's what's called like a non-chargeable. So those are things that you really can't equate for. You can't really count for it because things may mess up and, things you have to throw away. So it becomes a business expense. And that's how I teach my students how to price out their business. There's a very big difference between doing this for a hobby and you might do like the 3 times the amount. But when you're wanting to do business, there's so many elements to business. The fact that you have to pay your taxes, the fact that you have to renew your LLC and you have to pay that every year. You may have business insurance. We have liability. We also have property insurance. So we have things that we have to use as a business. So we can't use that regular, 3 times the amount or just, like those certain things that people use when you're a craft business. People call it a craft business calculator. I don't run a craft business. I run a business. Point blank in the period, I run a business. I run a creative business. So I teach it that way. I teach it from that perspective. She says, OMG, thank you so much. I changed the chips and now my printer works. Yay. See, this live was just for you to be on at the right time. But God to bless you with the answer that you need. Now you can go and get your print on. Will you quote us the price before the whole process gets started? So I basically have a retainer fee and we go through that. Depending on what type of logo you have, like the logo that you want. Because some people want simple base text logos. Some people want ones that have like, they want like their own unique identifying icon. So depending on what type of logo you want, it will kind of like determine the price. When we start, I kind of let you know what the base price is for all of that. If you have to make changes, I can't let you know what that quote's going to be because I don't know if you're going to come and say, well, I want to change this, I want to change that. It fluctuates from there. But you do pay a retainer fee to basically get the ball started and on each step up to completion. So you don't have to pay for it all at once. Every time I release something to you, you have to pay that part of the invoice before that file is sent to you. No, I love that. Absolutely. Yay. All right. So we're going to do this towel only because one of the prints was jacked up. So we're going to put this in the middle. And they are done, ready to go. You can update the software if you want to. It doesn't have any adverse or beneficial, like there's no pros or cons to it. If your printer's working, there's no need to do the update. Dang, is there an easier way? It's a lot to figure out. Maybe I need to take your business class. Maybe you do when it opens back up. But no, there really is no, there's an easier way. You're just going to calculate. You're going to do the math and calculate, for the ink. Or you can just kind of go off what the average. Like, so for me, for this average, this is only about like 10 cents worth of ink per print. So there's that one. Oh, yeah, I'm not at the house. But, you can come to the house if you want. But I'm in the office now. I'm waiting for Love to come pick up his paper, too. So I need to text him. So I will text it to you right now. Printing class. Printing for Dummies class. She has been trying to get me to do a class at her spot in Fort Lauderdale for the longest. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I promise I'm going to schedule the class up there in Fort Lauderdale. Can the sublimation paper be reused? No, it cannot. So because, there's a little bit of print on it, this one is messed up. So I'm going to print to the back side of this. That's actually a really great question. So it might seem like the way this is, remember, it's only 85%. So it might seem like there's a lot of ink on it. You'll probably be able to get somewhat of a print from this, but it won't be very vibrant. So we're just going to put that like that. Close this up and press that. So you'll get some transfer, but it really can't be reused. Our logos start at 125 and they go up from there. So just text-based logos start at 125. Yes, I stopped taking orders for 4 months because I refused to buy a new printer. Oh, no. Yes. Well, if it hasn't been used for 4 months, hopefully you left the cartridges in there so that it's not dried out. If it is, just watch my video for 7820 missing and broken lines because you might have an air clog now. So this is what happens if you try to print it again. This is what it looks like. So there's the regular print. If you try to use it again, it's a very faint image. So big difference. All right, ma'am. Well, they are done. I'm going to text you right now. Hold on, y'all. I just texted to you. All right. Which printer are you using? And where are you printing from? From the front tray, the rear feed, or what settings are you using? All right, let's count these out. One. Actually, might as well fold them now. 8, 9, 10. I don't even know why I just folded these individually, but that's 10. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Three, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Four, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Five, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, wait. 8. The one that's messed up, which is the placement 9. I'm missing one towel. But I'm going to actually make another one because that has a small one in the middle. Oh, here it is. No, this is the one that's messed up. I am missing a towel. Wherefore art thou towel? I'm missing one. All right, I gotta find that one. And imagine, these are all the sheets. It would be double this if you had to use a butcher paper because of bleed out. Now, you may have been able to use that butcher paper like 1 or 2 times because you're going to completely cover the image, so it's not going to touch it. But eventually that gas will blow out through the back of the butcher paper. So these are all of the prints. If you had to use butcher paper on top of this, you would have a much, 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 much bigger pile. That's one of the things that I love about our paper. I did not have to use butcher paper. I did not have to use heat tape or anything like that. Heat tape is another thing where you cannot quantify like how much heat tape you are using. It becomes a business expense. And when you're creating your budget for the month, for the quarter or whatever, you're going to put how much heat tape you need. And that is how you're going to determine that a part of your overhead. Oh, it fell in the trash. Glad I did go through this. What was wrong with you? Go over there. We're going to use you. Oh, all kind of stuff is falling in the trash. I'm going to make a little mug just for the heck of it. I was going to make a tumbler, but I didn't make it big enough. Although I might make her one because she's on her way here. I think I am going to make the tumbler or design that tumbler real quick. But I am going to put this on a mug. Only because I know somebody that's at the game who would actually want the mug. So we're going to do that. All right. So there's this one. And then there's this one. And then the big one. Which are actually two of these. Well, there's this one, and then I'm gonna redo this one once I finish printing because this is actually bigger. This one I made it the entire size of the 13 by 19 paper to cover more of the towel. So that's that. Oh, 15,000s are ones that are just like weird ones in general. A lot of people have issues like with those just in general. If you put like, let's say a regular 11 by 17 paper in there, is it still jamming? One, make sure that your paper is not curling. If it is, make sure that if you are somewhere where it's humid and your paper is curling, put a dehumidifier. Store your paper somewhere where it won't curl up so much. Try and store it in the packaging. Store it flat so where the ends don't curl, because a lot of times that's what causes it to jam. Or if there is moisture in the paper, because there is a lot of humidity in your room. So a lot of people don't realize they need to, when they're doing sublimation, they have to have a dehumidifier because of the moisture. I sent an email. I'm definitely interested. You seem very professional and caring about your clients. I am. Thank you. I will look at that email on tomorrow. I'm technically not supposed to be in the office today. I love Jackie, so I've been here for her and for Love because he has a really big job. He just ordered 5 packs of 11 by 17 and 3 packs of 13 by 19. So he's coming to pick that up. So because of them, and I love them, I'm here, but I'm not really here. I don't work on Sundays. The Eco Tank 15,000. Yes, someone was asking about the Eco Tank 15,000. I just put one in my room. Thank you. Yeah, that a lot of times solves that issue for a lot of people. All right. So I'm gonna get out of here. Wait for her to come pick up her order. Go pull Love's order for paper. You can visit the website shop.hsink365.com. You just ordered a 15,000? All right. So there is the website right there, shop.hsink. As you can see, the 8.5, it's a great value, guys, for what you're getting, being the fact that you're going to save on a lot of additional things. Your butcher paper or your parchment paper is going to last longer. You're not going to have to put your heat press on such a high temperature that's going to draw more electricity and energy. You don't have to, use as much lint tape. A lot of people go through a lot of lint tape on their lint brush. I don't do that. Even when I'm doing shirts, I don't have to do a lot of lint brushing. We're really at all, other than those pesky Cricut shirts. So the benefits of the paper, you're going to save a lot of money. And then on top of it, it's probably less expensive than some of the brands that you probably use, other than like maybe some of the newer ones that are on like Amazon. But you end up having to use butcher paper. You have to press at a higher temperature. You don't get the customer service. You don't get the education. Most of those companies don't have a Facebook group where you can go and get help. They don't have a YouTube. They rely on others. You get all the information directly from the owners of this company to help you troubleshoot, to help you understand it, to help you be the best that you can be at sublimation and other things, because we sell pigment ink for the chip bags and the printable shirts and all that kind of good jazz. So the cost of 8.5 by 11, $20.30. 8.5 by 14 is $23.65. $30.65. You've noticed there's a running theme of $3.65 in all of our prices, or $30, because those are our signature numbers. $35.63 is the 13 by 19. You can get one of each size for $95.63. The 3-pack of 8.5 by 11 is $55.63. You're going to save 9%, 9% based off of like if you buy it individually. If you're buying 4 packs of 8.5 by 14, you're saving 7%. It is $65.63. 11 by 17 is $85.63. Again, you're saving 7%. If you get the 4-pack of 13 by 19, it's $136.50. If you get a case of the 8.5 by 11, it's $239.65, but you're saving 28%. A case of 8.5 by 14, it's 20 packs. It's $323.65. You're saving 32%. 11 by 17 is, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, because it's only 10. I was like, wait a minute, but it's only 10 packs. So it's $1003.65. You're saving 34%. And then $223.65, you're saving 39% if you buy a case of 13 by 19. So it's a big savings when you're buying it by the case if you're going through that much of it, okay? I mentioned you in one of our other videos. Thank you so very much. Tag me in it or inbox me with it, or like put the @ there so I can kind of see to it. I pray I get my 7720 working again. You can always try and you can book a one-on-one session with me and we can go through and figure out exactly what's wrong with your printer. If it's something that can be saved, sometimes it just can't be. You got to let it go. I can't find your video on making grave blankets. I don't have a video on making grave blankets. I don't do those because here in South Florida, you can't really use them. So I don't make those. It's not a good market for me to kind of invest in that. For me, I'm a workforce person. So for a good printer, I like workforces. So it's going to be an Epson 7820, a 7840, 7310. Or if you want to go with a true sublimation one, go with like an Epson F570. That's a wide format. Sawgrass are also great printers. I'm partial to water-based inks versus gel-based inks. I like the prints off of like the big boy Epson printers as well. So I like water-based sublimation prints over gel-based in general. So it's not even a matter of like just the cost. If I had to get like a true printer, it would still be a water-based printer over a gel-based. But we do have the cartridges and chips for the new workforce. All of our inks are keyed for all of the eco tanks. And then we have the cartridges pre-filled and empty for the older workforce printers as well. Let's see. Never had an issue but the fake paper jam. So yeah, just pull the back part out, shake it, take up one of those like computer blowers, blow it in there, make sure that there's no debris in it, make sure that none of the clips and things on there are broken on the inside. What size is my vinyl cutter? I have 6 cameos. All of my cameos are the 12-inch cameos. I also have a Roland BN20 that is a 20-inch, really only about 19-inch cutter. And then I have a US cutter that is 36 inches. And I also have a Solo, which is 16 inches, I think. So I have a lot of vinyl cutters. I have a lot of vinyl cutters. A lot of them. Hello from Columbia, South Carolina, one of our counterparts, the Blank Spot. It's Sunday. So, who is that? D or Eric? Since you guys do a live video on Mondays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Monday is All Hallows Eve, are you going to dress up as a bottle of ink? Are you going to dress up as like a Saints fanatic in your awesome Saints hoodie? I said I might dress up. Since it's All Hallows Eve tomorrow, I just might put on some sort of costume tomorrow. So we do have 13 by 19 paper. We're trying to figure out what, and I thought I took all that off. We're trying to figure out what happened with that. So what you are probably looking at, I'm going to go to it right now, which I thought I took it off. So 13 by 19. If you go to, wait, hold on. All right, let's see. Is this one not showing? Okay, no. So this one is, no, that's the tacky paper. I don't know why. Like on certain ones, it's showing that we're out. But if you just come up here, right, to where it says summation paper, and you go to fast dry 100 sheet packs, it's going to list all of them. You go to 13 by 19, it's there. We're not sold out. But the single listing, which I pulled all of them, We're having an issue with how it's communicating because that's the master one. But because the SKU number is technically the same, but we wanted to have it where it's easy. We did that for SEO purposes. The more places you have it indexed when Google crawls it, the better it's going to be for your SEO. So we kind of had it separate, but the bundle thing is like making it where it's an issue. So we had to pull them. So all of the paper is listed under one until we get that issue rectified. So you can click on the top where it says Fast Dry 100 sheets, or if you simply click on right here where it says Change the Game Sublimation paper, it's going to take you here and you can click on that. Yeah, see, all the other ones have been removed because there was an issue with it. Now, if you mean the rolls, the 13-inch rolls, we're not restocking those until 2023. All right, awesome. You mentioned that you made a grave blanket for one person because it was going to cost. No, so not a grave blanket, a headstone. I mean, a casket head panel. A casket head panel, not a gravestone blanket. I don't make those. So for my grandmother, I made the casket head panel, not the grave blanket. And that one, I haven't really been advertising them. I have to do it for someone else. I personally cannot really do a class on that one or show that one. It makes me emotional every single time because that was my grandma. So I can't, really do one for that one. But if you've watched me put vinyl on, it's basically coroplast. I designed it. You print it out. I print it out on my rolling, or you send it to a printer that can print onto adhesive vinyl, and then you're going to put it on coroplast or foam board if you have one big enough, and they just sit it in there. So it's not something that's permanently affixed to it. You're not subbing the fabric that's inside. You're going to put it to cardboard, coroplast, foam board, PVC, and they just put it inside like the folds of the head panel. That's how that works. What size shelves did you use for your cameo in our closet? So we just took up the entire space. I want to say it's like 48 inches wide, I think it is. And it's whatever their max was, which I think was like a 20-inch deep shelf because of the closet. So we just maxed it out to whatever that's the size of that closet was. All right, let's see. He said, sure, why not? That has to be Eric. There's no way D said, sure, ink it is. That has to be Eric. Cannot be D. Cannot be D. I was so kidding. Both are listening, but I know that response had to be Eric. It had to be. What are you doing right now? I'm going to end the Facebook one, but what are you doing right now? Can you go live? That had to be Eric. All right, y'all. I'm about to hop off of here. I got to go pull this order for Love. Let him know he can come pick it up. And I'm waiting on this young lady to come pick up her order. All right. So until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.